All right, so we're here to talk about, you know, sometimes things you don't want to talk about, and it's pain and discomfort. And today we're going to talk about the back. The back is kind of, it's everything. Everything's connected somehow to the back and to the spine. And Dr. Bourgeois and Dr. Breedemeyer from NexGen are here with me today. Thanks for being here, gentlemen.
Thanks for having
Air
us.
high five.
Hey,
Boom, there we go. So I guess when we start talking about the back, like I said, there's so many different areas in the back, and each has its own little, you know, when it hurts, like they hurt a little bit of a different way every time. So let's just talk about back pain in general. Does back pain in general always mean something much larger is going on?
Well, not always. I mean, it could be something minor, it could be something more severe, but one thing we do know, a chronic condition is something that's lasted longer than 3 months. Okay, so that's when your body went through its checklist, hey, do this to try to fix it, and it tries to fix it on its own without any help. And because your body has an unbelievable ability to heal. The problem is when you get older, it doesn't work quite as well, right?
Man.
I think everybody kind of realizes that, right? So after 3-6 months or so, now your body's went through its whole checklist on everything it knows to do to fix it. And if it's not fixed, chances are it's going to stay with you. And typically, once it stays, the chronic condition only gets worse with time.
So what if you went and spent good money on a good mattress, and it's working great for you until you're in bed like 7.5, 8 hours, and then you're in bed eight hours sleeping, but then when you wake up you're like you got to like stretch it out and work it out because now it hurts worse than when I got in the bed.
Yeah, and that could be more of a muscular type of issue, and we see that as well. We do a lot of different things. We do you know, physical therapy type work, if you will. We also do different injections. Dr. Breedemeyer does different injections with different biologics to put the body in position to actually regenerate the areas naturally, right? No medication, no surgery. You know, those are the people we typically see are going to be people who have had this for a while. They've been diagnosed with arthritis, disc problems, facet problems in the joints, and really it's low back, but it's all the way up the spine into the neck as well. So those type of conditions.
Dr. Breedemeyer, you have been in this business for a minute now, and what is your approach when it comes to back pain? How do you begin to help patients help to alleviate those pains?
The problem with backs is it's such a multifactorial problem. It's not like a knee where if you tore cartilage, well, hey, you can go in there and fix that. A back, you've got the ligaments, you've got muscles, you've got the discs, spinal canal starts stenosing, the facet joints. Now they may not be big, but they're still joints. And when they get inflamed, it hurts like a big joint. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of different issues going on. So it's a matter of trying to, you know, decrease the inflammation, decrease the degeneration, which is what we do at regenerative medicine.
And so when it comes to the spine, there's supposed to be this kind of like normal curvature in the spine. You guys end up, you know, folks, if you're not paying attention to what's going on and recognizing the symptoms and the signs that they're, even in the early onset part of any kind of back pain, those things start to straighten out. They don't move like they're supposed to. Then you have much worse of a problem, Dr. Breedemeyer. You realize your range of motion is limited, and then that causes other issues, right?
Right. And the less you can do, of course, then things tend to get worse. But if you try to do more at a certain point, well, that hurts. So it's this vicious cycle where you keep doing less, the problem gets worse. So you have to break that somehow.
Yeah, we get a lot of people too. They'll be hurt, whether it's a back or any other joint, and they'll say, you know, my doc says I've gained weight because I can't move around well. My doc says I need to move more. Right, but then the reason why I gained the weight is because I can't move, and so then it's like you were saying, that cycle where it's a tough one to come out of. Really is when it gets to that point.
And then of course we haven't even gotten into what the bulging discs are doing, like because whatever kind of action caused you to move something out of place, and now the disc, which has got a good purpose, you have to have that there.
Oh yeah.
Now it's pushing out and it's sticking a nerve, and now your nerve is like, it's making the inside of my arm hurt, and it becomes a laundry list of things because you're doing less because you can't do more. Mm-hmm. Yep. And so when you get into the bulging disc side of it, how do you guys, only thing I know of is traction.
So we do a more advanced form it's called decompression, spinal decompression, okay? How it works is it does traction the body, but it does it using the computer to actually do it in a way that doesn't actually cause the muscle fibers to tighten up around the areas. For instance, if you just pull the area, then your muscles actually have a response where they say, uh-oh, there's damage being caused, we need to protect, they tighten up.
Sure.
This essentially tricks the body so it can relax, and then it can actually get that inward vacuum effect to kind of work to bring everything back in. So we'll do that oftentimes for a good candidate for it, along with different biologics that Dr. Breedemeyer does. Whatever's necessary. Sometimes they're alone, sometimes they're together. We talk, I handle my part, he handles his injection part, and then once we come up with a game plan.
So for folks who are who are listening, that now this is starting to ring a bell. You guys are at any given point in the year, you're running specials.
Oh yeah. So right now, as always, we're doing a free phone consultation. Okay, so that's you call in, you do a free phone consult, and you basically see if you're a good candidate to come to the clinic. We dive in more, we look at imaging, and we find out if you're actually a good candidate for treatment, because everyone's not. But what we're running right now, we're doing a lot of different specials. You got to call in to really see it and go over it all. But we're doing a lot of discounts. So it's something we haven't done before, so we're pretty excited.
Absolutely, yeah. Discounts when it comes to healthcare is always a good conversation. You're always going to appeal to somebody in that conversation.
If you ever thought about calling, this is really the time. It's more beneficial for you.
And I mean, at the end of the day, we were talking about that your body has a way of healing itself. You don't know if you're a candidate for that kind of healing.
Oh, yeah.
You want to get ahead of the game.
Absolutely.
And listen, there's never a bad time to make a phone call to find out if what is going on in your body needs to be addressed now. How many candidates have you had that is like it was just a simple fix?
Oh, there's plenty of them. There's plenty of them. You know, sometimes it goes both ways. Sometimes they think it's something horrible, and then we're saying, no, you don't need all that. We can just do this, and it's simple, and then they're happy and they move on, right? And then sometimes it's something. Okay, this is something that might be a little minor right now, but this historically this is going to progress. So we got to get on. We got to get on this.
Yeah, you definitely want you want that piece of it for sure.
It's always good to get ahead.
Less will always be more, especially when you're talking about the back. Like I always hear surgery should be your last resort. True. So it's the cage that holds everything. It's attached to everything. Like there's.
Yep, and you have people all the time. Anybody watching knows, hey, I know somebody who had a back surgery, then they had another one, and another one. I think everybody knows somebody who's had one and ended up having 3 or 4 or more. You know? Well,
there you go. You see right there at the bottom of your screen, see that number. Give Dr. Bourgeois and Dr. Breedemeyer a phone call. Listen, always call. If you're having some symptoms, you don't know what it is, give them a call. You never know until you know. Guys, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.